Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Fnatic.DeParture and Liquid Zenio. It is a ZVZ on Korhal compounds, a matchup that many people say is all about the build order, but the more and more you watch ZVZ, you realize how much skill there is involved in just scouting your opponent. There's people like Nesty who just seem unbeatable in ZVZ for periods of time. Right now, he may be in a little bit of a slump. I don't know. I haven't seen too many ZVZs lately of him. But I know it was a big deal when he lost his first ZVZ to Bong Bong Prime. And then it was also another huge deal when he lost a ZVZ to Damaga as his first televised ZVZ loss, I think. They made a huge deal of it. And if it was all about the build order, it wouldn't have been a big deal. We do have Zenio going for a 9 Overlord right now, and DeParture going to be going with an Extractor Trick up to a 11 Overlord. Not a huge difference between the two builds. I watch ZVZs all the time, and not even I can tell the difference on which one comes out ahead. They are pretty much break even. A lot of math has been involved. People said that the 9 Overlord, you may have like 10 extra minerals at most. It's very minute if there is anything, and maybe there are cases when going with the Overlord at 10 could be better. Maybe it's better if you want to go for an early pull if you see things coming. Neither player drone scouting. We do have Overlords meeting about halfway across the map. They don't actually meet each other, but you can just assume your opponent is sending out that Overlord to scout. And we do have DeParture going to go for a hatch first without drone scouting, and Zenio is going to be doing the same thing. And on 4-player maps, you generally wouldn't do it because this one Overlord that you send out to scout isn't guaranteed to see anything. But on 1v1 maps, the Overlord can sometimes see those lings leaving the base a little bit early to give you a little bit more time to prepare, and I think that's why neither of these players did go for a drone scout. We do have Zenio going to be going with a pull immediately after his hatch, playing a little bit safe, while DeParture is taking all the risks in the world, going with this extractor, then pull. And definitely a little bit of a risky build, but it does pay off as you do get early ling speed, and we'll see when Zenio ends up getting his gas, because this could make all the difference in the world. Speedlings just demolish non-speedlings, but Zenio will have his queens out first, will have Larva before DeParture. And that can make a deal when defending, but also it can hurt you, because if DeParture gets his link started like 15 seconds later, Zenio could just do a huge drone pump, and then this Overlord sees lings running across the map, and Zenio's like, oh my god, that just sucks. So hopefully we will start seeing a player get some scouting information. Zenio building 2 lings right now just to send them in because he is completely in the dark right now, and DeParture probably will be doing the same thing. His pool now just finishing 2 queens in production by both players, and DeParture not getting any lings, instead just going to keep droning up, just going to trust his Overlord scout knows what's best. He is going to be playing, I guess, as defensive as possible, getting this early ling speed as he does start that, and still mining gas, so it looks like he will be going into Banelings, and this would be such a good thing for Zenio to know, because Ling Bling, especially when you have speed before your opponent, because Zenio, some reason, hasn't taken a gas yet. He has something very unique meant for this map. It is relatively, I guess, easy to defend with Spine Crawlers. There's not too much area back here. The queens can wall off, and the Spine Crawler protects the queens. That's why they're not going to the top of the ramp, staying down low. So when lings come, the Spine Crawler just helps protect them. Jones can mineral walk their way into his base. A little bit risky, not going for any gas yet. I am really curious how Zenio plans on following this up. We do have the queen fishing right around the same time that inject does pop. And Zenio just leaving his queens right here. He may not have to be this careful, because I guess maybe there's some small areas where lings can sneak on by. So maybe that's why he leaves his queens right there. Doesn't have to, though, because, well, his Overlord is in place, so hopefully he could see those lings coming. And 2 lings for DeParture going to be coming in to see exactly what Zenio is up to. And sees more Spine Crawlers. Lots of Spine Crawlers. So 3 Spine Crawlers going up by Zenio, just now taking both of his gases at his main and down at his natural. It looks like Zenio will be going up into Mutalisk play, unless he's going to do one of like Destiny's weird Infestor Rush build orders, which hasn't really made their way on the Korean stuff. You generally don't see Zergs rushing Infestors in ZVZ, so I don't think it's that. We do have DeParture now getting gas. He has spent a lot more gas than Zenio because he bought Ling Speed and also morphed in a defensive Baneling. and Zenio hasn't really got that much scouting, just had guys on that one watchtower that DeParture did clean up, and he also knows that Zenio does not have speed, so he's got to be wondering and sees even more spine crawlers. Another one is being morphed by Zenio. He is preparing against an all-in, does have them split up so banelings don't hit multiple spine crawlers. But DeParture, he is getting a lot of gas as well, so it looks like he knows what Zenio's plan is. His layer does finish first, and he should be going for some type of tech soon. As this drone does move out, he just has about, there we go, enough for Spire. Very nice job. Just moving the drone before he had the minerals to make that Spire. And Zenio getting a Baneling's Nest right now, assuming for just defensive purposes. I'm assuming he will be going for a Spire as soon as his lair does finish. We do see Zenio probably will have more gas than DeParture when it comes time for the mutas, or maybe not. DeParture is kind of even in the gas, and his Spire has already started. Zenio hasn't started his Spire yet, so DeParture looks like he will get the earlier mutas and more mutas. Also going to be taking his third base, seeing those 4 spines. It's like, okay, you're playing defensively. You're not going to come attack me if you spent 400, or actually 600 in defenses, because you have to counter in the each spine claw is 150, not 100, because it does cost a drone to build. We do have a Overseer now in the base saying, hey Zenio, I got my lair up. So now Zenio has some type of idea what type of tech DeParture is at. We have an Evo chamber being built by DeParture. He does see the Spire timing. He's like, oh man, my Spire just so much earlier. Again, this one Overlord does see the third base. Looks like Zenio wants to take that. His drone does get met with the link, so he builds an extractor. Gonna be cancelist to move into a hatch. That was just so his drone did not die. It's much cheaper to give up the 6 minerals it takes to cancel an extractor than the 50 it takes to lose a drone, not to mention the larva that it also cost. We do have Zenio now going to be putting on some pressure. Some Banelings are morphed by DeParture to be able to defend this, and Banelings morphed by Zenio right here. And he's going in by that. The Banelings almost done morphing, and he's trying to take out this one hatch. Going to be waiting till he has his Banelings. DeParture, oddly enough, does morph 3, while Zenio does morph them 2 at a time. And I have to say 2 at a time is much better than 3 at a time, just because it takes 2 Banelings to kill a horde of Banelings. So when you get 3 Banelings, you have the chance of 2 still killing all 3 of yours. And a nice Baneling hit right there. The next one, unfortunately, does whip. And Zenio going to be going for this one hatch. Drones and Lings with mutas, trying to take them out. And DeParture has a handful of mutas, up at 9 right now. Zenio building 9, DeParture building another muta. Zenio getting up missile attacks right now. So he will be transitioning into roaches. Just going to get these mutas to get map control, probably kill overlords, and then transition into a scary ground army. And he's also getting infestation pit. So he's not going to be staying at mutas too long. The muta count is 11 for DeParture, 9 for Zenio. Zenio going to build 2 more, so he will be even in the muta count. DeParture, though, getting that +1 carapace upgrade, which will make his mutas just demolish Zenio's in a straight-up battle, because the glaive worm will mainly just deal less damage. The +1 armor minuses 3 damage per volley, because you got to keep in fact the first attack the glaive worm hits, and then the 2 it bounces to. So that +1 armor definitely does decrease the DPS of other mutas by quite a bit. We do have Zenio just now finishing his Zerg missile attack, starting that Pathogen Glands upgrade, but also going to be going in to do a little bit of a harassment on both sides with Lings in the third base, mutas in that main base. And now DeParture's got to decide what he wants to do. The drone kill count is 6 for Zenio, 0 for DeParture. But DeParture's mutas are now coming into Zenio's base. 3 queens here to help defend. Also, the infestors should be building relatively soon, and that is a scary time for any muta player. Also, kills this one Spore Crawler, probably by mistake. Dying of AoE, only kills 4 drones, while Zenio has killed 10. Going into this worker count, it is 61 for Zenio, 58 for DeParture. DeParture, again, is leading the muta force with 20 to Zenio's 9, and he will also have the upgrade advantage on his mutas. Zenio going to try to engage this, and like, oh my god, this is not good. He does have 4 queens to back him up with that +1 missile attack. They will do a little bit more damage, but those infestors are what he really needs, and doesn't have any out, none on the way just yet. Lots of drones going down. DeParture killing 20 right now. Zenio at the same time doing a Ling run by at the third base. Nice job with Zenio. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but using those Lings to kill Banelings off 1 at a time. Make them nowhere near as effective. Queens now do go down, but a big Foam Girth does go on those mutas. Going to be getting another one. And now these infestors do have to back off. There is another one back here DeParture's mutas are getting very injured. He can't keep at mutas that much longer, so he is getting a roach one just because, just with Storm, the fungal growths eventually wear the mutas down, and then they just die so quick. What? That is a weird mistake. Must have had the drones hotkeyed with his mutas. Maybe he's one of those players that hotkeys units as he builds them and put his drones in his muta hotkey. I have no idea there, but that was definitely a mistake. There's no reason for 9 drones to go across the map unless you want to do some weird spine crawler rush, but at this stage of the game, I highly doubt that would be the case. All the mutas coming in, trying his best to keep them split up. Doesn't want to grip them up because these infestors will do a lot of damage to them. Getting a nice fungal. Oh my god, the muta's clumping up. Getting another fungal growth, and you can see those mutas definitely going low with that burrow plate to make sure those mutas can't attack him. And those mutas definitely did escape, but looking at their health, it is not good. There is not a single green muta at the same time. We do have a run by DeParture, doing what Zenio has been doing all game. The drone kill count is 29 for DeParture, 18 for Zenio. Worker count 62 to 62. Somehow, both players still have the same number of workers. We do have the creep now expanding by DeParture. Zenio hasn't really built a roach force up yet, getting well, he has a few roaches, but getting hydras now with his infestor so he can take out those mutas. And hydras against fungal growth mutas is a raffle stomp. Just because mutas have short range, hydras have long range, so get the fungal growth so the mutas can't move. Hydras get a lot of free hits off, which is just awesome. We do have Lings now running by to do a little bit more harassment, killing off more drones, targeting down those gas guys, because that is what is important in any matchup, is that gas. Maybe not Terran so much, because they have this unit called Marines, which have this thing called C14 Gauss Rifle, which is just amazing. I think it's C14, maybe it's C8. I don't know, but we do have roaches now moving across the map by DeParture. And infestors are definitely the counter to roaches. Zenio has a lot of fungal growth energy, and even more infestors that have hotkeyed, up to 9 now. And it only takes, I think, 3 fungal growths to kill a roach. Maybe it's 4. But he definitely has a lot of infestors. Going to be walking into the mutas. One go! No, it doesn't go down. They do burn just in time, and now it gets another fungal growth off. None of his infestors died. Nice job with his hydras to clean that up. But at the same time, DeParture going in for this third base. Will the roaches now take out this one hatch? This will be big, but he's going to be losing all these roaches. Will it be worth taking out the hatch? Zenio will immediately rebuild it. Now the infestor's going underneath the roaches. Is he going to get the fungal off? Yes, he does. That is a huge fungal. At least 16 roaches right there. Now they're splitting up, but a lot more roaches still getting fungaled. They have to retreat. If he loses all these, that will be game. More fungers going off to catch the roaches, and it looks like DeParture will be getting out, taking out this third base. The income now definitely bad for Zenio. You can see DeParture way ahead on that income by about 33% because, well, he's mining off of one extra base. They both have, or had the same worker count. Zenio losing a little bit more drones there, up to 47 workers killed against Zenio's 20 that he's killed. But he still has a lot of fungal growth, going to be mounting a vicious attack. DeParture only has roaches right now, so he has to keep his unit spread up as possible. Does have more roaches on the way, plus 1 armor on the way. Zenio is at 2-0, so Zenio has the upgrade advantage, plus pretty much every other advantage in this fight that you could think about. Zenio is maxed out, DeParture isn't, and Fungus having those roaches are well split up. Zenio just pulling them back so the roaches do clump up, and does quite a bit of damage. DeParture doesn't have burst, so all his roaches are injured. Zenio, however, does have burst, so he can heal up between these fights, and those roaches were clumped up right there. Zenio trying to get a good, the fungal growth is good, and DeParture, GG's. Great job taking out the third base, but DeParture didn't go for any infestors, just stayed at that roach tech. Zenio, he didn't get to capture all of DeParture's forces, but he got to save all his fungal growth energy, which just proved to be so good. Also, the upgrades by Zenio on ground were definitely better than DeParture's. What did he have on that Spire? Go back just 30 seconds, and we can tell what his upgrades were. Just plus 1 armor. But definitely an amazing game, and we will be going ST2 gears right now. And, well, hope you guys enjoyed the ZVZ. I know many of you don't like it, but to be fair to everyone, I mean, I've casted a ZVP, ZVT, and now ZVZ today. So I've casted all 3 matchups, giving Zenio the max coverage possible, and, yeah. That all I have to say. Big props to Team Liquid again for putting out these replay packs, allowing casters like me to just focus on a player for the weekend, and we get to see how they make decisions, which I think is super cool to see. 13 replays is definitely a lot of replays to watch a player. Going into the injects, we do have... Who is better at injects? Overall, looks like Zenio was better at 10 minutes. Zenio is also better. We know how Zenio does his injects. It is by hotkeying each hatch individually. How does Departure do it? We will look. And I'm not going to go too much into any other tab because I think I did a good job at telling everything that was going on. So, same thing. Hotkeys individually hatched. Hotkey... Hatches individually hotkeyed. That's the word usage, word ordering I was looking for. So both players generally have the same hotkey setup in the early game, but Zenio just has a little bit better injects. Despite him missing a small inject when he had his queens on defense, so Departure definitely made a mistake on his injecting. He didn't do any tumors. He just was slow on an inject or two, which is a little bit odd. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow. But yeah, peace out. Hope you enjoyed. Comment if you like it. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and